This one goes out to DJ Johnny G.
Okay, yep, so this is, Because We Care, with your hosts, Reggie Watts, Keith Kilgore, and our very special guest, Luke Brahl. And today, this was a question that you've posed a lot, so I'll even let you.
Okay, the question being posed is, does the high school experience adequately prepare students for college and the college experience?
I don't think so.
There's many principles to this. Now let's go in depth as to why, really down, and really pick this apart.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I think all of us are of the opinion no.
Because we come from a bit of a bias. We came from a very rural area.
Our high school's in the middle of a cornfield, basically.
Yes.
Exactly. We went to, Solanco, and our education was more or less a joke, basically.
I think I learned more on my own, with the exception of a few teachers. I think I learned more on my own.
There are some good teachers. Like the good teachers that are there are really good.
Especially the teachings of the amazing, enlightened Dr.
DJ Johnny G.
Dr. DJ Johnny G.
Dr. Gervin.
Who teaches forensic science.
And chemistry. And AP chemistry.
AP chemistry, yes. Exactly. Besides those teachers there, most of them pretty much did not really care about your education. They more or less, what's wrong with this system today is the fact that they're getting paid money for standardized testing scores. So basically they're getting paid for how well you do on tests. So they teach how to be good test takers.
Yes.
They do not teach you how to actually learn, only to expel information. That is about it. They do not get you to think critically about things, which is what college is meant to do. College is meant to make you think. Okay?
Like, actually, one of my criminal justice professor, who was a detective for Lancaster City, said that when you go in for a job and they ask you what you learned in school and what you learned in college, this is what you want to say. I learned how to communicate well. I learned how to keep myself organized. Stuff along those lines. Not what you actually learned.
And the other thing is the workload, I think, isn't adequately prepared. Because, they say, oh, you're supposed to get whatever grade you're in, multiply that number by 10, and that's how many hours you should be spending on homework. Yet, I barely had any homework my senior year of high school.
And actually in college they say, however many hours you're in class, you should spend 3 times that studying.
The junior year seems to be more of a difficult experience than the senior year. So the
Yes.
senior year, you're just pretty much allowed to slack off. Unless you actually take an AP course where the workload is actually pretty tenuous.
Well, senior year, you basically need to do your first semester, and then, the second semester, you can screw around all you want.
Okay, most people are not going to take, well, not most people, a large quantity of kids do not take any higher education after that, which is why they don't really care anymore. They just stop giving a shit, in all honesty.
Yeah. Now, the other thing is, I think we're kind of putting it as I know each teacher they have a curriculum they have to follow. So I feel like there's a lot of really good teachers. It's just that they're not allowed
to kind of
teach. They're supposed to teach about this in a certain way. They're not allowed to kind of free flow, which is why I like
DJ Johnny G.
He teaches how he wants. He's the only person that teaches that class. Same thing with Mr. Rocker at AP Calc. He's the only person that teaches AP Calc.
I thought Herbert taught AP Calc as well.
Nope. But he takes that however he, it allows, because that's how professors are in college.
France was kind of okay about it too.
There's also the maturity factor of things. You go back to high school, the teacher, he controls when you pee. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He does. If you're at the college, you just walk out, you have much more respect, and the professor has to respect you like you respect him. Teachers are not so much facilitators as they are more of co-learners with you, because they are also trying to pursue other degrees typically themselves.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then, in high school, just the people you're around are immature. I hated most of my graduating class. About 90% of them, actually. Maybe 95%.
Because you get into those crowds where they're not committed to their higher education. When you get to college, most kids are more...
Well, it wasn't even that. It was just...
Well,
most people in my class were douchebags.
I didn't mind most people in our graduating class. There was a lot of good people.
There were good people, just there were people who just pissed me the hell off.
Oh, yeah.
But, even as we do bash some teachers, we did admit there's some teachers that went the extra mile in high school to actually teach you some things.
Yes.
I actually feel like me, and I don't know about either of you guys, because I don't know if you had her, I know you did because you were in class with me with her. I actually thought Pasco.
I had Pasco for early lit.
Because I feel like that prepared me, because at least the way she like how to take probably the best notes to take in college, which is don't copy word for word, because you're going to copy word for word for some teachers. You might as well just cut your arm off right there. That's how much you're going to get done.
Well, that's why I take my laptop.
I felt like she was actually rather bitchy. But
she was.
But to be honest, she was a pretty damn good teacher, and I feel like
if you got cool with her, or if you were chill with her, she was cool as hell.
She messed with me, actually, but I think she knew I was a good writer, so she let me slide on so much shit that I did.
Well, then, like, nice. You and I had her for theater.
Okay, here's what happened with me. This is the funniest thing that's ever happened in that class. And also, again, this might go into the thing of how high school doesn't prepare you for college. We were supposed to write a science fiction short story that was supposed to be like, it was supposed to be like 200 words or something.
Kind of like Asimov, Asimov stuff.
Yes. I wrote down one sentence, got 50%.
I remember that.
Like,
yeah.
That's one sentence. That's not even, I don't even consider that, that's maybe a 1. How's that worth 50%? I'm like, yep.
Teachers definitely do play favorites more so in high school than in college.
But some teachers do it a little bit more. I feel like, especially in like Rocker's class, since there was a small percentage of the people from Advanced Trig and Cal who moved up, we were all kind of his favorites.
Exactly.
But then you go to like Mendez's class and he just fucking loves the wrestlers to death, so...
I took pretty much every type of chemistry class high school had, plus forensics.
Yeah.
Now I had tipping for organic and nuclear, and I had her second semester of regular chem. But like I had Gerv for forensic science, and Gerv for chemistry and forensic science was the man. Now a lot of people say that he's not a great teacher. I think it's because he's probably too smart to be a high school teacher.
He really is.
He really should be a tenured college professor.
Most kids also, when they go to college, this doesn't apply to us because we go to community college, but they're on their own for the first time.
Yeah.
Figuring out how to do daily management.
I kind of know where you're coming from because I went to a university for a year. And
you learn more about your daily life management, don't you, than anything else?
Pretty much, yeah.
Which is a huge, you don't learn that in high school. High school does not teach you those kind of things. And there's a lot of these core values that the high schools really miss out on, and unfortunately we don't fund them enough money, in my opinion, for some
Well,
things.
I don't know. The schools themselves know we're not getting enough money. Some teachers, like in some districts, this might not be the case for Slanco. I don't know what the average Slanco teacher makes. But there are teachers out there who are making 6 figures for 9 months of work.
Yep. You know, I really feel like the education system still is getting shafted for a lot of reasons. We're not getting enough money for a lot of the programs. Like, teachers will learn, they should get paid, enough to, maintain a decent life, in my opinion, so they keep teaching. But the school system needs more money itself. If you look at this, for example, if you had a class that was a non-abstinence-only sex ed class, that was paid for out of pocket by the school. Schools are only funded money for abstinence-only programs at school.
Yeah.
Another bullshit thing they have is just that. You know what I mean? It's absolutely absurd. They need to teach more. You need to teach things more related and important to life, rather than just how to fucking take a test.
Well, and with the whole teacher, how much teachers get paid. Someone I know, I'm not going to say who, just because this could potentially screw them over, but whatever. Yeah. This person's of the belief that there are teachers who are getting paid too much money for 9 months of work and really are not doing anything but teaching kids how to take tests. Now, if we take some of these teachers who are making 6 figures a year and take some of that money and put it into these other after-school programs, so a lot of after-school programs are getting cut.
Yeah.
And if you try to take more money and fund them while keeping teacher pay the same, that money's coming from somewhere, and me going into the field I'm going to, a lot of that money came from the state police. Because last year they didn't have a single class go through the state police academy because Brendel lost $2 billion somewhere. Now, and they didn't want to take that money from education. Well, take it from some of the teachers' salaries who are making, $112,000 a year.
They say teachers to make a lot of money, but some of them are actually rather.
I mean, some of them do deserve it.
I think in this, even though it's my profession, I'm going to be a teacher. That is my internal goal. But I do believe that. I mean,
teachers are important. Yes.
If they're making, 60, 70 grand a year.
That's
That's
good.
fucking good.
That's
You know,
60, 70 grand for 9 months of work, yeah.
if you're a teacher and you're really passionate about it, money's not what's important. Here.
Yeah.
Okay, the future of this country and the future of the people you were going to be educating should be more important than how much you make. It seems to go for a doctor, but it doesn't. They're not all about helping people. Some of them just want the 6 figures. Or 7 figures in some cases.
Yeah.
So, I hope we've divulged enough on this topic, because we've been going on for a while, but seriously, the high school experience, in our opinion, does not adequately prepare one for the college experience. There are two entirely different things, and once you get into college, if you are still in high school, you will seriously understand what we mean by it. But we still really hope you enjoy your experience though, because it is something you will definitely
High school, I did, except for the classes, I did enjoy high school.
And you won't forget high school either.
Yeah.
It is a good time in your life.
But basically, the too long didn't read version of this video is high school sucks and doesn't prepare you for college.
So, this is your host and special guest, I guess, signing off for the
Yep.
So, peace out.